Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Jay from Broadcast, giving you some MLG Providence qualifiers gameplay here. This is Epik versus Anguish in the first round, game one. Hopefully I'll be able to bring you guys all of these games, at least from Epik's standpoint. Obviously, as you know, the wall replay system is not quite amazing, so I can only work with what I got. But so as you can see here, I'm going to go over the lineup really quickly. We got ourselves Epik here. They got Vayne, Yorick, Soraka, Riven, and Kennen. And they're going up Anguish, who has Lee Sin, Taric, Morgana, Caitlyn, and Skarner. And the junglers, of course, are actually Skarner and Riven, compared to, well, I guess what I would have expected originally would have been Lee Sin. Lee Sin normally would be the junglers. I mean, it's not that Skarner's bad, of course. Skarner's a very powerful, very quick. After the buffs he received in this latest patch, he actually goes through it pretty quickly. So, I guess I'm not too concerned. It's just from what I recall. But, anyways, we're going to have Riven starting out here. Westeros, known for playing a very strong Riven, actually plays a lot in solo queue. I think I've seen mostly him play solo top, but I guess in this situation they need him to jungle, so not that it's going to be an issue. Kennen's going to solo mid. Of course, Yorick's going to take the top lane, the farm lane as most people like to call it. He is running teleport, whereas their top lane, who I'm going to only have to assume is Lee Sin, is not running teleport, so that's probably going to work in their favor, actually, when it comes time to, begin putting pressure for Dragon and whatnot. And then in the bottom lane, we're going to have the Vayne and Soraka combo. Pretty powerful. Normally, teams you'd want to have like a CC, like a Taric, or even Alistair. Now, I can't say I know what the bans are, unfortunately, because this is only just the replay. It's nothing about the teams banning who and what. So I'm not sure. They might have banned like Taric or Alistair. Probably not, but you never know. And then actually we're up against, well, they have Taric. Well, that makes me feel smart. Taric's on the other team. So Taric and Caitlyn, that'll be easy to line up her Q on, whoever they decide to combo on, most likely, of course, Vayne. But Soraka, just, those powerful heals are going to make it challenging. So I guess summoners are all pretty typical. We got the Ignite Flash on both mids, the Exhaust Flash on both carries, the Clairvoyance and Flash for the supports, and then the Ghost Flash. I'm sorry, the Smite Flash for the junglers. The only one, like I was saying, the only maybe a little weird is that Lee Sin also has Ignite against his top instead of Teleport, so he's going to pretty much be staying up here for a while and just depending on that farm. Creep scored already looks like a little bit of an advantage for Epik, not much of course. Maybe got a little stun here on Dan. He's going to be fine though, get healed up by Soraka really quickly. So yeah, going around, honestly, based on these lineups solely, it's hard to give an advantage. I mean, Morgana is so powerful against magic damage with that black shield she has. And actually, there's a gank. I kind of missed it. Yorick getting chased down top. He's actually going to be fine, though. Skarner came in there. I'm not sure if he had red buff or not, but it looks like it wasn't enough to do anything to Yorick. But that black shield, it's really useful against like CCs and whatnot because it makes her immune, or whoever she puts the shield on immune. So, against this team that really has limited CC. I mean, they have Kennen, when comboing, can put some nice stuns up, and Yorick has a slow, and Riven has a stun. But it's not like there's like a Taric or a Blitz or something Alistair that has like really powerful CCs. So I don't know. It's not as strong. Actually, Skarner's coming back again. Here comes the Ignite Yorick. This is most likely going to make him drop. And actually, he survives still. Very impressive. I wish I could see his health, of course. And with the wall replay system, it's only limited to what Dan is actually looking at on his screen. So we don't actually know how low they got him. But he's going to need some help or some wardage. Because Skarner is just keeping that pressure up. They really want to keep Yorick, down on his farm. speaking of farm, Vayne's up to 29 and Caitlin's at 20, so it's going a little better for this Vayne instead of Caitlin. Meanwhile, they're just spamming traps. You know, Tarek's ready to pounce with that stun. This is also something I want to point out that happens. And I'm probably gonna do these in a lot of games, but pros compared to like normal games, you'll see the supports when they get to this tower range. Know when to throw in an auto attack so the carry can finish off the creep, because especially early in the game the AD carry doesn't do quite enough damage to kill these creeps. They'll be just a little bit off. Dan's going really aggressive, but Soraka heal is just too strong, and right after that heal, of course, she gets that armor buff. So she's feeling pretty, pretty ready to go. Dan's just being super aggressive against this combination. It only has a Doran's Blade. I guess when you have that Soraka, you can't be afraid. You gotta put pressure, because otherwise she's worthless, essentially. She doesn't have a stun or a slow. All she has is that heal and that mana back. So, meanwhile, top, Yorick should be losing. He's got 34 to 20. He's still winning the lane. I mean, I definitely think he's a stronger laner. And actually, he's already picked up his Tier of Goddess. So he must have burned his teleport to get back. But now we have action bottom. Riven coming in. Caitlyn flashes. Riven's still falling up. Gets exhausted. And it looks like that's going to be a kill because of red buff. And that's going to be enough to take him down. So really effective gank there by Riven. So mobile. I've been playing him recently. He's a very nice mobile hero, especially when you jungle. Once you get that red buff, you can really cause some aggravation for the other team, as you saw right there. Skarner looks like he's got his blue. He's going to be going for that red buff now. And Skarner with red is pretty annoying. He's got, very increased attack speed, movement speed, and he can just spam that Q and do a lot of harassment. So look to him to try to set up some ganks after he gets that red buff. Yorick finally does have his own ward now, though, so he'll be ready. If he's doing a really smart thing here. He's keeping the lane not pushed out, so that way Lee Sin has to be at the river fighting him instead of over here. If he was over here, Skarner could then sneak up through here or come around, and then by then it would be too late. So really good decision to try to keep the creeps right around the river where he has vision. He feels secure. Possibly Skarner could come through the bushes, but Lee Sin doesn't really have a stun and has a slow that's not super effective. So essentially it's not going to be too painful. Soraka looks like she's probably going to finish a gold per 10 item. We'll see what. Yep, she gets a flow stone. Obviously, a very common thing for supports to get that, gold per 10 item. So we see here Vayne keeping up the good farm, 56 CS. That's a good 22 ahead of Caitlyn, so doing a fantastic job. They're obviously very much so outlaning them. Tarek already got his Philistone, actually. He must have beat after Caitlyn died to pick that up. Kennen, on the other hand, 81, leading the game by 31 over this Morgana, so dominating that lane. Which is kind of surprising. Morgana's a very effective creep killer. I mean, she generally will maximize that W to, just annihilate creep waves and keep the lane pushed. And if you can keep the lane pushed against, Kennen's actually pretty good against it, but most people will have issues last hitting against their tower. And so she's really good at keeping the lane pushed, having me no trouble. But in this case, it looks like Kennen's, reversing it on her. And well, that's amazing. He already has a Will of the Ancients, so he's just going to have a huge advantage over Morgana, who still just has boots in a pod. She hasn't gone back to buy yet, it looks like. So, interesting play there. Gang top, I missed the action. It looks like they finally got that Yorick. Sure enough, his ward did go down, and that's most likely how he got caught. He's going to need to put that back up. It looks like Kennen's coming to try to keep that off the tower as much as possible. Meanwhile, bottom, Riven's back for more. Gets a kill on Tarek. Not a big deal, but you know, it's still a kill, and it's for Vayne, which is, you know, a nice 300 gold or whatever in her pocket. Now it looks like they're going to set up for Dragon. Makes a lot of sense. Tarek's down. We saw Skarner towards top. That means he probably bead. So they're going to want to do this as quickly as possible. Caitlyn showing no signs of coming over. Morgana must have went black to buy finally. Here comes Skarner and Morgana. Morgana's got some Doran's rings and her sword boost, so they're going to need to kill us really. Oh, and they do end up getting the Dragon, but there's a Morgana ult. Very effective. Flash out. Riven's just going to be fine. Vayne has to try to somehow find a way to get out of here. Gets caught by the bind, and that is no good. She is going to go down. So they still came out definitely on top, though. You get that Dragon kill for a hero kill. I mean, Dragon's worth 190 per teammate, so it's about 1,000 gold compared to that 200 or 300, so definitely worth it. Meanwhile, this Anguish team's just looking a little confused, not sure what they want to do, and Kennen takes full advantage of that. He pushes out that top, gets the tower kill. Soraka's going to try her best to, you know, keep these people off the creeps, but she doesn't even have level 1 of her Starfall, so she's just going to have to depend on her, you know, imbue her silence to do the damage to kill creeps while Vayne comes back. Speaking of Vayne, has 3 Doran's Blades and Vamp Scepter to lifesteal, I guess. She's the most common metagame now, AD. They build that Wriggles. And I guess that's to pressure down Dragon quickly. Yeah, the ward's nice, but that's not such a big deal since you have a support in your lane. So it's mostly, I guess, get some early armor against that other AD, some lifesteal, and some little damage, and to really push a lane or take out Dragon like really quickly. So, and now we go around. Kennen's still got the will. Yorick looks like he's going into that Mana Mune. That typical item where he'll get a lot of mana and he gets attack damage based on how much mana he has. And since Yorick is just such a spammy hero, he needs that item. That item is pretty much built for him. You used to kind of see builds back in the day, like Miss Fortune when she was played a lot, and that item came out, everyone thought that was just essential on her. Now it's kind of dropped off, not as much necessary, but yeah. Anyways, here comes Kennen. Putting pressure, gets the black shield, just fine. Morgana coming back, has the Doran's rings. Back to farming, I guess. Look at the creep scores. We got 124 for Kennen compared to a 76 Morgana. So it's 50 creeps. I mean, 50, you know, around 20 each. That's going to be about, you know, 1,000 gold actually, which is that's a pretty huge difference. Morgana does have a kill to his none, so I guess that makes up for a little bit, but still, it's a pretty big advantage for Kennen. Lee Sin trying to come across, set up something, but Kennen's wiser than that. And this allows more time for Yorick to just keep farming. So Yorick's going to just stay top. He's up to 80 CS compared to a 52, and then 99 Vayne compared to a 65 Caitlyn. So huge creep score advantages for Team Epik over here. I'm not sure what Morgana's planning on doing here. He gets a bind on a creep instead of Kennen. Kennen's going to be very aggressive. Decides not to do anything with it. Bottom lane, more pressure on Tarek here from Vayne. Caitlyn went back to buy, finished her Wriggles, and actually also got a dagger for more attack speed. Probably going to get Berserker Greaves, I would have to assume, next. Meanwhile, mid, Kennen takes out Morgana, and now getting chased down by a red buff Skarner. Here comes Riven to try to chase up. And double buff Riven actually, so really short cooldowns on her mobility moves. Should be very annoying to deal with. They're going to push out this mid tower. Vayne is looking to just kind of sit here in the brush, and I guess she's looking to kill this Caitlyn, but Caitlyn decided to turn her out the last minute. Blue is up, so they're definitely going to try to take that. I would guess give it to Vayne, although essentially it's not really worth it for either. Kennen getting a little chased down. Lee Sin uses the Ignite, and that gets turned around. Here comes Riven, who drops his ulti, flashed in, tried to get the kill, not going to be nearly enough. Here comes Vayne, also matching in Morgana, she's going. That ulti from Vayne just adds so much extra damage, and really is nice. Here comes Lee Sin, back in, very aggressive. Another kill for Vayne. Soraka uses her ultimate, heals them all up, and that was definitely a great trade. I think it was 3-0. So, very good job there by Epik. And they're going to get the tower, too. Kind of keeping the pressure up. What I'm going to assume is Riven's going to... They're going to look to basically get this blue buff if they can. If not, not a deal. But they're going to go back by a lot. I mean, you can see alone, Vayne is 2,400 gold. I'm sure they're all pretty wealthy at this point. And then they're going to put pressure on this bottom lane especially, push this out, take these towers out, and then they're going to just set for an easy Baron kill. I mean, with Vayne, Yorick, Riven, they're going to have a ton of damage here for this Baron. And actually you see Tarek going down to place some Baron wards because they pretty much know what's coming, but there's not too much they can do. There's such a disadvantage from these farms and kills that there's only so much at this point they can do. Morgana only still has these Thorny Rings. Lee Sin has a Wriggles, but so does everyone else. Riven not going Wriggles actually. So most jungles do go that Wriggles to farm their jungle really quickly, but I guess Restorice feels that he doesn't need that, and he'll be just fine without it. Kennen already got a Quicksilver Sash and Nancy Large Rod, tons of damage, ready to be taken out of CC. Actually, here we go. Use the Quicksilver Sash, but does get taken down because there's a 5-on-3, now it's 3-on-4. Not sure exactly what's going on. Caitlyn tries to ult to Yorick, but instead, that was a bad turnaround. Lee Sin gets taken out, and here comes Riven from behind, trying to clean up. But to no avail, they're all going to get out alive. So that was just a 1-for-1 trade. Kennen getting taken out very quickly, very good focus on him, but in the end, it just was an even trade. And they're going to actually get Dragon now. Meanwhile, I was actually wrong. So the Vamp Scepter got turned into a Bloodthirster and not a Wriggles or Vayne. I guess I can agree with that, especially in this game. I mean, they have a nice advantage. They're definitely getting the farm, so she'll have no trouble getting the creeps to get the stacks up to add damage and lifesteal for this item. I'm definitely okay with that pickup. You definitely want to try normally try to stack attack speed on Vayne, like Zeal, various items. Just get that attack speed up so she can, put on the silver bolts, get that extra damage, and really take down those beefier targets such as Lee Sin, Skarner, that kind of thing. Looks like a little follow-up here. Bottom, but it's not going to be no Veil. 3 versus 2. Meanwhile, Kennen just keeping the pressure up top. Kennen getting pressure back now by Skarner. Skarner just trying to keep him off the turret for now. York also pushing. So they're just putting so much pressure, on this Anguish team. Here comes Tarek and Lee Sin trying to rotate up. This should allow for Vayne to push this lane. I mean, Caitlyn actually has double buff still when they got that kill earlier, but, even without that a single buff, Vayne still seems to be stronger, probably because of that creep scoring, hero kill and assist. 132 CS compared to that 94. That's a pretty big difference. Kennen actually getting chased down with York. And Riven's here. Here comes a surprise. And gets the kill. Morgana's in over her head. She's also going to drop here. Lee Sin, he realizes this fight's not going well. Flashes out. Tries to get out of there. It looks like he'll be fine. And I would not be surprised if they try to turn this around and get a nice Baron kill out of it. Because it's 2-0. And... actually it looks like they're going to just push instead. Meanwhile, Vayne and Caitlyn just having it out with each other. Nothing really coming of that. I don't think they're actually going to get anything here. I thought they were going to push out this middle, but they're really taking their time with these creep waves, and they're all going to be rezzed up. They're already rezzed up, so didn't really take advantage of the 2 kills, but still, I guess it's nice to have that money. Riven actually comes bottom. Great combination there, condemned into the wall after the Riven stun. She had no chance to do anything. Meanwhile, top, Riven takes out that Skarner by himself. And here comes from behind Yorick, and they're going to just take off those. So already, that's 3 kills for none. And they're probably going to just try to push these out now. Like I was saying, they're going to take out this tower here. And once they take this one out, I would have to assume they're going to just Baron very quickly. Another 1760 gold for Vayne, actually. So, keeping that farm going. 208 CS for Kennen. That's almost double Morgana's. So, you can see just how much of a difference it really is in this game. Yorick went back, bought themselves a nice Glacial Shroud, and Spirit Visage. Super tanky. And gets all that health packs and really hard to kill. Riven just went straight for a Bloodthirster, actually. Instead of going for a Ghost Blade, perhaps. So he's just looking to stack some extra damage. Lifesteal, not as much. I mean, he does most of his damage with his abilities and not his auto attacks. His passive does give bonus damage when he uses a move to his next auto attack, so I guess that's nice, but oh boy, here we go. Poured in by Yorick, right from behind, goes straight on to Morgana. Here comes Vayne, condemns. Oh, but doesn't get after that flash, but it doesn't matter. Riven goes in, flashes, kills both of them with 1 hit. There goes Taric, but that's going to be no better. Here comes all the flashes from Epik, and that's going to be a kill on Taric. So that was a 3 for nothing. Caitlyn nowhere to be found. There she is. Here's Lisa and Caitlyn. They're going to just dive this tower. They have no problem with that. Lisa and Oregon, and there's the GG. So there you go. Game 1, pretty much a slaughter. Epik just really did a great job controlling the lanes, not dying to that early pressure from Skarner until a little bit later, but still topped it better than Lee Sin, surprisingly, even with all that pressure. Riven had some nice key ganks at the end there, or in the beginning rather. Got those early kills on the Taric and Caitlyn. So ultimately a very good job by Epik, and we'll see, I guess, how this goes into game 2.